Welcome back to The Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade, and this is my show Stranger Than Fiction, where I talk about strange and cool things that I really enjoy. So, we got a lot to cover today. I want to talk to you about the story of Travis Walton, also referred to as Fire in the Sky. I believe that was the name of the book and then the movie adaptation that came from Travis's story. So, I want to start off by just talking about what we're going to talk about is the things that we know and the things that are confirmed. Travis does have a story to tell about what happened to him, and I will leave that out because it's kind of scary, a little bit traumatic, and that is Travis's story, and I definitely do believe him. However, I just want to cover the things that we can prove and the things that we know. So, Travis, if you ever hear this, I what you went through, I believe, is real, and the other men, I believe you guys too. Everybody saw something. If you know me, you know I have a belief that everybody saw something. Okay, so let's get into it. November 5th, 1975. Travis, six other men were all lumberjacks in the Apache Stitchgraves National Forest near Hebron, Overgard, Arizona. All right, hard to say, sorry. Travis was working as a lumberjack with six other men, and Travis was a young guy. He was pretty rough and tumble, as lumberjacks are. He, would do like bare knuckle boxing, and he was the kind of guy that jumped out of a car once because he saw a bear and he chased the bear into the woods. All right, so he's not a meek and mild kind of guy. They had this contract to take down all these trees. It was a lot of trees, and they were working hard. It was long days out there in the, like, it's not the desert, but it's a forest in Arizona. And they were just like working 12-hour days, and that's really rough. And lumberjacking is really rough. I've never done it. I have family members who have. It's a big thing. Look into it. Especially in 1975, you're talking chainsaws and axes and all that stuff. All right. So they're doing all this hard labor out in the woods. On the third day they had been out there working on this contract, that night they start coming back. Now they're all in the crew boss's truck. All the guys are in the crew boss's truck. And as they're coming back, they see this light in the forest. And they really were unsure on what it was. They thought maybe it was a truck that had driven off-road, off into the woods. They thought it could be a forest fire. It was really out of place. And because it could be a person in danger or a forest fire, they investigated because they're thoughtful, good people, right? So anyways, they go looking for this, and Travis is the one that actually gets out of the truck and goes further ahead of everybody, and everybody else follows with some trepidation, but they follow because they're all interested. And what they find is a disc, so like a saucer, that is rotating silently about 50 to 100 feet off the ground. All right. Travis is the one that approaches it. He gets closer than anybody else. And everybody starts trying to call him back and get his attention. And he's just like, hey, what is this thing? And he gets close enough that a beam of light comes out of this thing. Strikes Travis, throws him about 20 feet back. All of the other men are just shocked and bewildered by this sight. They're terrified and scared. They run, they get into the truck, and the other guys would say later that they were convinced that Travis had been killed. And they didn't want to get any closer to the thing because what if it shot a beam at them, right? So that's why they ran. They didn't feel like they could help him, but also they were in panic. They were all terrified. So I don't hold any grudge against these men. I'm not mad at them or looking down on them. Everyone panics and does weird things in crisis, right? So anyways, they get in the truck and they flee because they're going to go get help, right? They're going to go get help. About 20 minutes down the road, the guy driving the truck, the crew boss, decides, hey, wait a second. We really did Travis wrong. We left him there dead. His family deserves, his body at least. And they pull off the truck on the side of the road. Several of these guys are crying. Once again, no judgment. You just saw something utterly nuts and utterly insane. So they decide that they're going to go back. They're going to go back to collect Travis's body, and this is the depiction that goes with the book and the movie Fire in the Sky, and that's that says it all right there. So they decide that they're going to go back. They go back and they can't find Travis's body. The disc is gone, so the danger is gone, but Travis's body is gone. And they search. They actually search for like a couple hours, and they can't find Travis's body. Okay. So then they get back in the truck. They go down to the road. They're out on the road. They find a gas station and a payphone. Remember, it's like 1975, right? So they find a payphone. They call the cops. Police officers come out, and they're very reluctant to use the word UFO. They're very reluctant to say aliens or whatever. They try dancing around it, but it's kind of important to the story, right? So they eventually have to use those words in that term. And this, of course, results in the police officers thinking that they're drunk or that they're on drugs, and they had field sobriety tests performed on them. Now, given it's 1975, so the tests are probably much different than they are now. But anyways, the police officers concluded that they were not drunk and that they were not high. Okay, so the police officers actually tell them, go home, and that they're going to mount a search in the morning. Okay, so all the men go home. They barely sleep. And then in the morning, so they barely sleep like 4 or 5 hours. And in the morning, they come back and they help the police officers search. No one finds Travis. Okay. At the end of that day of searching, these 6 men become the prime suspects. They are then taken back to the police station. They are then interviewed. I'm using finger quotes, interviewed, interrogated, and they are all blamed for killing Travis and hiding the body. All of them are blamed. The thing is, though, all of these guys give the exact same story. The only difference that has ever been found in their stories is when Travis got up to the thing, that it was 50 feet away and like 50 feet up. Okay, that's what changes. How far it was from Travis horizontally and how far it was from Travis vertically. All of them have a little bit of a different variation, but none of them have a giant difference in their stories. So that's very compelling, in my opinion. Okay, so then these guys become suspect number 1, and the whole town turns on them. Everybody accuses them of having killed Travis. There's no evidence, right? So they're under investigation, and this kind of ruins their lives for many years. From what I understand, these guys have recovered and have gone on to run businesses and lead successful lives, but for many years, this hung over their head. Okay. So they're under investigation. 5 days later, so a total of 5 days, Travis appears on the side of a road in the rain at night. He would tell you that he felt like he fell and hit the ground, and that's what shook him awake. He is hungry, he's thirsty, he's tired, he's weak, but he's able to get to his feet eventually and walk and finds a gas station. That's approximately 1.3 miles from where he disappeared. He uses the payphone, because remember, it's 1975. Calls his brother. His brother's freaked out, comes and picks him up, drives him to Phoenix, Arizona, and they go to a hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. And that hospital knew that Travis had been a missing person, so they are required to call the police. They call the police. The police come down and interview him. And here's the thing. Travis didn't know that he had been missing for 5 days. He literally felt that he was in the woods with the saucer and then on the side of the road. Now, gradually over time, more details have come back about his experience, where he went and what happened to him. It's pretty scary. It's kind of traumatic, so I'm not going to bring it up here. And that's Travis's story. I do believe him, but we can't prove any of those things. I'm just giving you the things that we can prove, right? So anyways, over time, there has been 16 polygraphs that have been performed, okay? 5 of them on Travis, 11 on the other guys, and only one of them ever has given a result of inconclusive. And if you know polygraphs, they cannot be used in court, but inconclusive is not a result of deception. Okay? So these guys have told the same story for a lot of years. Travis has told the same story for a lot of years. I'm going to throw a picture of Travis up there. There's Travis. And these guys really didn't gain a whole lot out of it. Travis himself has done the UFO circuit, but it hasn't made him a millionaire. It hasn't made any of these guys millionaires. And if anything, they've lost and been persecuted for it. I think it's a crazy story. I believe everybody saw something. And this is kind of the beginning of the UFO. It's not the actual first recorded UFO abduction, but it's kind of the beginning of where that started. So if you've heard a UFO abduction story, many times they're very similar to what Travis experienced. Once again, I think everybody saw something. This is a crazy story. Feel free to look into it more on your own. And we here at the Dragon's Lair want to say thank you for spending your time with us at the Dragon's Lair.